Vice Marshal Kapoor, if you could just tell us, you must have seen these visuals as well. You must have sort of gotten an inkling. What do you think actually happened in those few seconds, in those few minutes from takeoff to it being mid-air, then suddenly hitting the ground, turning into a huge fireball?
You see, first I would like to correct the Air Force officer who was commenting on trying to relight or restart the engine. It never happens. These kind of statements are absolutely incorrect, and it's a very, very clearly laid down procedure for a pilot when he can restart an engine and when he cannot. So such speculations I would like to put to rest. That's the first thing. All these air shows, the air displays are extremely well orchestrated, well planned, and very many time rehearsed. They are even rehearsed in a simulator, and so all kinds of minor wrinkles are ironed out before an aircraft goes for an air show like this, especially abroad. Tejas has performed at many international air shows, and it has performed extremely very well. It's a very safe aircraft, and it's got a great control system and a very good engine. All these maneuvers are actually broken down in an air display into very small little packages, and so every second that a maneuver goes on is a changeover from one maneuver to another. And so the pilot constantly checks his energy, his direction, his height, where is he in relation to the air show areas and things like that, in relation to the crowd and things like that. And so there are only two reasons which could result in a catastrophic accident like this, where a pilot loses his life, and that is one is there's a catastrophic failure, there is a major technical failure in the aircraft, or second, there is a error of judgment, or because the margins of error are extremely thin while performing such show. And it is I think it is too premature, with just about an hour and a half gone from the time of this accident, to come to any kind of conclusion whether what would have happened. There could be multiple reasons for which this accident would have taken place, and I can assure you that no pilot, today's pilots are so very well trained in Air Force, especially those who are doing these air displays, that they exactly know where to eject and where not to eject. And so when you're talking about ejection seats, there are other very many other limitations which I would not like to go into details about. And so yes, it's a 0-0 ejection seat, but there are maneuvers in which in certain conditions a pilot cannot eject, or if he's trying to recover that aircraft, he knows the aircraft could be flyable, he knows the aircraft is not completely gone out of control, and that is a time, if something catastrophic like this takes place, that gives very little chance to a pilot to recover. And that is the only reason. And it is such a sad day for the Indian Air Force and for the nation, to be losing a pilot, that too abroad, in a very high profile air display like this. So my condolences to the family, to the Air Force, and to the nation. And we must, I think, thank this officer who we lost, for the great service he did, and great laurels he's brought to the nation.
Absolutely, that loss is going to be incomparable as far as the pilot is concerned. But what happens next, Air Vice Marshal? That also is something that needs to be looked at, isn't it? Because this is, like I was pointing out earlier as well, this is only the second time that we've seen a Tejas in a crash. That the Tejas has crashed in the last 2 decades or so, ever since it's been inducted in 2016. We do have to take some lessons from here, Air Vice Marshal, isn't it?
Absolutely. Every time an incident, I'm not talking about an accident, every time an incident takes place, we draw lessons, and we try and put into effect measures so that such incident and accidents do not repeat. And I'm 100% sure that Air Force will go threadbare into every millisecond of this videos to identify, and there is a flight data recorder and there is a cockpit voice recorder. Both are there in the aircraft, and those will be analyzed in great detail before the final cause of the accident is established. And once the cause is established, I am very sure that corrective measures would be instituted, whether it is on the technical side or on the malfunction side or on the pilot flying side.